Cancer, welcome to the month of March 2023. Big planetary shifts, all planets direct, 5 planets changing signs. This is a deep dive video because it's an incredibly powerful month for your marriage, significant business relationships, your long-term money strategies, as well as maybe this sense of what you would call your purpose or your dharma. You got a lot going on, Cancer, and we're going to dive right into that over the next 30 minutes together. So settle in with a cup of tea and let's get going. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothy and I'm a whole sign house Hellenistic astrologer using the Western tropical zodiac, not sidereal. So let's get started. And by the way, like, subscribe, please, and hit my bell for notifications. And if you want to know anything about me, my class, Sky Reader, 8-week astrology class for beginners, Time Your Best Life, Be Your Own Astrologer, starts up in March. I haven't set the date, probably mid-March, but I have a wait list. Carte will open in a couple of weeks. Get on the wait list for discounts and even just to get in. And also, everything else about me, my Patreon community will get all my videos ad-free well before you guys see it on YouTube for $5 a month. Plus, you get to meet with me a couple times a month. Plus, you get, perks and discount codes for readings and classes with me. All of that can be found on my Patreon community, and that's in the description link below as well. You could also join my newsletter for other perks as well. All right. Whew. I need to take a deep breath. These are long videos to record because this is an intense month and there's a lot to cover. So let's just talk about concept. First of all, your rising sign is going to be more accurate. So please listen for your rising sign first, sun and moon secondarily. Second of all, if you're new to astrology in terms of understanding house systems, all astrology on YouTube pretends it's a whole house system. Do not go talking about your Placidus houses, intercepted houses, whole sign houses, one sign, one house, 12 houses, 12 signs, one whole house. And that's the ancient house system. And that's how we use astrology derivatively on YouTube. All astrologers do that now, except for maybe one. I know she breaks it down, but most people don't. All right, so let's go ahead. First of all, Cancer rising sun and moon people, you've been kind of ducking a lot of intensity, and you've been like kind of in the shallows of reality because there haven't been eclipses squaring you or anything, kind of been coasting around a bit for the last couple of years, with the exception of Pluto. Since 2014, Pluto, the god of transformation, death, rebirth, change, crisis, catalyst, etc., has been moving through your marriage house. Not been an easy journey because this is like transforming your marriage, transforming your significant long-term partnerships, transforming your relationship to your audience, clients, marketplace, and others, and it's transforming any business partnerships. Or you may have been drawing in Plutonian people, powerful people, sometimes narcissists, sometimes just powerful, friends as allies who are powerful coming from your 7th house into your life. This is ending in 2024 in earnest, but the first tiptoe Pluto out of there since 2008 happens this month. So it's a big deal for you. And so you're going to feel this shift energetically around the 24th of the month or so. Let me double check my dates. Yeah. And that's when Pluto goes into Aquarius. Now, this is the beginning of the end of that 7th house intensity and the start of some new area of intensity. So when I talk about this movement on March the 24th, it will last until June 11th, but you're getting a foreshadow, a foretaste, or a teaser of what's to come. It's pretty important that you get the feel here because it's going to be with you until 2043 or 4 as Pluto moves through the sign of Aquarius, and it's a long, long journey. This Aquarius zone is your investment monies, your long-term wealth, things like stock markets, 401k, insurance payouts, taxes, shared resources with your spouse, inheritance monies, legacy wealth, stuff that comes in chunks, chunky money, not the earned income, but something else. Pluto is power and Pluto is wealth. Pluto can actually help you level up. This could be the beginning of a feeling in the month of March that could continue on of you becoming available for a new level of wealth. Now, I'm going to have a hot flash. I'm going to take some clothes off just for you. So now, at first I can't get hot, then I'm cold, then I'm hot. So anyway, the next thing I want to tell you about is that this journey of Pluto through your Aquarius 8th house is also, it's just like Pluto only goes to the 0 degree during those months, March, April, May, June. And therefore, it's just a light touch. It's just a smidgen. But what happened back in December of 2020 was Saturn and Jupiter joined together at 0 Aquarius and initiated this part of your sky. So you had this kind of like initiation that suggests, according to that conjunction, at least for the next 20 years, you're going, or now 18 years, you're going to have a lot of focus on eighth house matters. Now, we talked about it being a wealth house, but it's also an occult mysteries house. So if you're into spirituality, metaphysics, paranormal, tarot, astrology, this is getting really big for you. This is going to really take up like a whole other level of intensity where you're going to maybe go deep, because Pluto is very like go under the surface. He has a natural affiliation for mystical, magical, otherworldly, underworldly things, which the eighth house can involve. So you may go all the way down the rabbit hole of some kind of esoterical mystical stuff over the next 20 years, and you do really well there. First taste of it, month of March. Next, I want to bring your attention to the transit of Saturn. I've got a whole playlist on the Saturn transit through Pisces in my 23 video of big transits of 23 playlist. And I've got another video coming out just, I think, the day before you're getting this content on YouTube, about bold predictions for that transit. But it's important because Saturn only every 30 years will move through Pisces. And then this is the month that starts for you. March the 7th, Saturn moving through the ninth house of your sky will begin a story that lasts until February of 2026. And the narrative is something along the lines of, are you aligned with your truest purpose? Are you in touch with your calling? Do you know the meaning of your dharma? Are you going to go back to school and study something? A lot of people would do this with Saturn here over the next 3 years. Are you going to take trips to foreign land that change your destiny? Are you going to publish a book? Are you going to become a teacher or a professor or lead groups of people in very professorial ways? These are all things Saturn does in the ninth house over the course of 3 years. You get to feel the beginning of that on the 7th of the month of March. The other thing I say is get ready for this also to feel like some shifts with a father figure in your life. It could be a father literally, or a father figure, or patriarchal character. Saturn here is leveling up that relationship, maybe giving you serious and realistic views of those types of folk in your life. And last but not least, Saturn is getting ready to move into your 10th house way down the line, right, in 2026. But he's doing the groundwork, laying the groundwork for what will be a kind of a reaching an authoritative, masterful expertise quality of your professionalism. And that's what he's leaning you into over the next 3 years as well. Secondly, when Saturn is moving through the sign of Pisces, he only makes it to the 7th degree. That implies that if you're a Cancer rising, a Cancer sun or moon, with those placements within the first 10 degrees of that sign of Cancer, then you're feeling this most strongly in the 2023 timeframe. However, also, this implies that Saturn is flowing towards you. It is a water trine from Pisces. So this is a feel-good transit. So you may feel better about your health because Saturn is about longevity, and he's coming from a very lucky house and a very prosperous house, a Lakshmi house, and he's flowing towards your body. For the Cancer rising particularly. If it's your sun, he's flowing towards your father. It's your moon in Cancer, he's flowing towards your mother. That's why we like to look at rising sign. It's really just all about you. So as you feel this transit flowing at you, you're going to start to feel in the month of March, starting on the 7th, somehow solidly better about you and your own life. Okay, maybe your health picks up, maybe you become more, assured in some way about who you are in the world. And I want to remind you, as I said already, that this is more true for the Cancer rising first 10 degree Cancers, because of course Saturn's limitation is only 7 degrees into the sign. Now, I think it must be bitterly cold today, so now I'm putting socks on because I can't figure out if I'm warm or cold. I don't usually vacillate in my temperature, but sorry. Yes, and I know I'm all over. I'm scattered. You trolls, I just know what to do with you. If you don't like my style, which is the real me doing my real stuff, then you can go away. All right, next. Oh my God, I had such a gnarly comment on my Pisces new moon video. I don't know, maybe I'm going to start to not, I'm going to troll the trolls. I just was pinning them to my hit comments. Maybe I'll start reading their shit out loud every time I do a video and out them. Oh yeah, troll the trolls. That's almost like a total combative Aries. Let's go back to you. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. So this is a big deal transit. I want you to get ready for it. We're going to micro niche this story this month into some dates to pay attention to, but right now I'm giving you broad brush strokes. Alrighty, so we also note that Mars is finally going to leave Gemini at the very end of the month, and he's been in Gemini since August of last year. Mars in Gemini for 7 months is extraordinarily rare, and that has been a journey of Mars through your 12th house. You could have got rid of addiction, self-undoing bad habits. You could have worked really hard and passionately behind the scenes on something that was important to you. And now he's leaving your 12th house and moving into yes, your natal first house. And the generational energy here, I mean, the shift of that is almost like a generational shift. I mean, nobody experiences that energy for so long, but also for you, having Mars for 7 months in your 12th house could have been a really important time of ancestral line clearings, or divesting yourself from the ways the generations before you could have, like, imbued you with stories that don't belong to you, themes of reality that you don't want to continue. Life is hard, life sucks, and we never get anywhere, or when good things happen, the other shoe always falls. These kinds of ancestral stories can be activated and eliminated from that transit you had of Mars to your 12th house, in a trine to your 4th house of the ancestors. So then he's going to leave that part of your sky in the 26th and move into Cancer. Of course, that's you. So just at the very last 4 days of March, 5 days of March, you'll feel a sea change. And you'll have Mars in your sign for 6 weeks. You'll be decisive, commanding, action-oriented. It's a good time also for surgeries. Mars can help you have a successful sharp object penetration event on your body when he's in your first house. Be careful for injuries, of course. Mars is a god of accidents and injuries and sharp objects and burns, and he's in the house of you. Just every 6 weeks for every 2 years, you should be careful during the Mars transit through the house of you. You're going to be sharp, you're going to be pointy, you're going to be direct with your marriage partner or business partners or audience and clients, because you're Martian. Even though you're a soft Cancer with a sensitivity and empathy, you're going to act more strong, bold, and commanding, and you might fight for what you want and stand up for what you want. This doesn't begin, of course, until March the 26th, but it is an important change for you energetically, and you only get it every 2 years. Then lastly, we're going to talk about Venus, and we're going to talk about Mercury. So Mercury is moving in to two sign changes in 1 month is a lot for him. But that's because he spent so long retrograding in Capricorn. So now on March the 3rd to the 18th, he's going to be moving through the sign out of Capricorn, out of Aquarius, and through the sign of Pisces. And in your natal chart, this movement of this journey of the messenger of the gods, the marketer, the mercantile dude, is in a 9th house placement. You could get a lot done here if you wanted to travel to a foreign land, make plans for a trip to a foreign land, get a book agent, get some kind of developments of good news around book publishing, secure agreements and negotiations around legal matters, especially involving courts. And then March 3rd to the 18th, you're also very likely to experience this as having a strong sense of the messenger shouting at you from the house of God. So you're going to be hearing messages, getting a feeling of divine alignment with your true purpose, a feeling that you're kind of leaning into your dharma, and Mercury will support that for you. And it's really, really good too if you do anything involving teaching large groups of people, or if you have a professorial lifestyle, then Mercury could be helping you find the perfect messages to deliver. And lastly, he can do things to do with study and learning as well as research, and he's in a learning house. So some of you, March the 3rd to the 18th, may sign up for some kind of learning course. It's in alignment with your purpose, and you may begin to learn something new during that time, which would be wonderful. Finally, then, after that, on March the 19th to April the 4th, and I'm not nervous, I just do talk fast. From March the 19th to April the 4th, Mercury is moving through Aries, and that's your career, visible reputation house, the top of your sky, your 10th house. Well, sometimes people say, I'm a student or I'm a homemaker. What's my purpose? Or I'm retired. Your purpose is whatever you're doing in the visible world that other people see you doing. I'm hoping it's not that you're just retired and all you do is watch Netflix all day. But like, if you don't do anything in the visible public, maybe this is going to start to change. Even if it's just charity work or something, what are you doing? What do you think your purpose is? Even if you don't have a job or career. So bottom line is, you've got Mercury moving through your 10th house of those matters. Okay. And that's a long transit, March 19th, right, to April 4th. So what are you going to do with that? So often if you're still employed or work or have a career, or, even you're self-employed, doesn't matter. This is good news happening, or things happening, or exciting things happening in your career, particularly because Lord Jupiter is there right now and will be there until the second week of May, and has been here since December 20th. So Santa Claus, fairy godfather, lucky god, Jupiter in your career space. And then Mercury is like good news from the boss that they want to promote you. You are the boss and you can't believe how well things are going, and you do a speech for all of the crew below you. It's kind of luck and news, good luck, good news. And a Mercury moving through here will touch down with Jupiter and say, what is the good news? We'll get those dates to you later. And so good career news, good reputation news, an escalation in that part of your sky is coming for you sometime in general between March the 19th and April the 4th. Finally, then, in the big planetary stories, Venus is also changing signs on the 17th. St. Patrick's Day, she'll be moving away from the sign of Aries and into the sign of Taurus. So you've got half a month with her, or a little bit more, with her gallivanting through Aries, your 10th house of career. Yes, where Jupiter sits, bringing luck. Double down on the luck kind of implies a good time, right, around these themes, particularly if you're looking for some breakthroughs in your career. But on March the 17th, she's going to move into, right, the next sign, which is the sign of Taurus, which is your 11th house of great gains from your career. Also friends who benefit you, people who act like allies and benefactors, favors from people that you know. Also the sense of greater financial gain, reputation gain, perks and benefits from your career. And Venus can love you up here and bring you more of those things. So look for some real advancements in that area between March the 17th and April 11th. And it's because of Venus is in her dignity. She's in her home territory. She can really bring home the goods. And she's joining with the North Node there, which can be exciting and accelerating and, thrilling kind of lucky breaks, lucky expansions in your house of good spirit. So all said and done, it feels super, super juicy. I'll be doing a whole video on that Venus, North Node, and Taurus because it's just too good to ignore in the month of March, and really dive into that. You could escalate your hopes, dreams, and wishes, or receive a good blessing or a major financial gain connected to an elder sibling. That's another possibility. Usually the sibling above you, like the one older than you. It's certainly a good time to ask for a raise or promotion, or ask a friend for a favor and not be afraid of being rejected. I think Venus can do it for you, but I think that it's going to be done to you anyway. You don't even have to ask, no need to ask. We're just going to give you what you need here. Your hopes, dreams, and wishes and wish fulfillment house has Venus and dignity traveling through it March 17th to April 11th. Now let's narrow this down a bit to the stories bit by bit. The beginning of the month, March the 1st to the 2nd, this actually starts February 28th. You will find that there's some really sweet luck in the sky. This is lucky Venus with lucky Jupiter in a co-joined factor called a conjunction at 12 degrees of Aries in the career and reputation space. Something is up leveling. Something is happening that's so good for you. What could it be? Ooh, I don't know. But it's like a lucky break, a super opportunity, a sweet perk, favors from women in the workspace, women benefiting you in the workspace. It's just got luck all over it. Some lucky break in the career part of your story. All right. And you won't get that kind of Jupiter Venus luck again for another 12 years. So it's something quite special in that sense that Jupiter won't be here again for 12 more years. And then moving forward, the sun will sextile Uranus on March 6th to 7th. And it's going to be connected perhaps to Mercury sextiling Uranus on the 10th and 11th. So you might connect those dots later, the 6th to 7th, the 10th and the 11th, about some surprising developments with your eldest sibling, the house of great gains, hopes, dreams, and wishes, pennies from heaven, windfalls. Now, the 11th house isn't you. So it could be that somebody has some super duper favors and news to deliver to you. Like imagine that your eldest sibling won the lottery and decided to give you all the money you need to pay off all your debts or something like that. Just making stuff up. But it's like, what could it be from the house of siblings, eldest sibling, that you've got sudden surprises March 6th, 7th, and even better, more so on the 10th and the 11th, delivered by the messenger of their gods, giving you all the news that you need to know that's full of juicy goodness. A lot of that can look like also maybe some kind of unexpected social event to do with large groups of people that you have an opportunity to be invited to. And it could be something sweet and soft, like, being invited to go to a massive rock concert that no one can get tickets to, or it could be something really important. But is a nice energy, and it's developing, as I said, in two separate pieces, March 6th, 7th, with the Sun Uranus. Now, Sun Uranus can be connected to a purpose thing or a male authority figure in your life. And in the 11th house, it could be connected to your career, followed by follow up the contracts and negotiations of the good news to seal the deal. But it's all very surprising, unexpected, and sort of sudden because it's got Uranus all over it already. And so, Uranus is like the god of the unexpected, the god of the sudden, right? So the way this is happening, the sun sextiling Uranus in your house of great gains and the house of the eldest sibling, you got to remember that, and then Mercury doing the same thing, that this is Mercury doing that from your ninth, and the ninth house is a luck house, and the 11th house is a luck house. You have two luck houses cooperating, two luck houses working together. Another way this could work out is Mercury from the ninth house gives you, and the sun gives you news of an opportunity to travel to a foreign shore with a sibling, with a friend, connected to a career perk or something like that. But we've got luck upon luck here. If you were doing like a book and you need to find an agent or a publisher or something like that, this is a breakthrough moment for sure. So we'll see where the Mercury luck in the luck house, Mercury in the ninth house, which is a luck house, and a Kama house connected to purpose, and the 11th is going to jam together for you into some kind of super sweet, auspicious, lovely, lucky vibe. I'm just about to say, get ready for it. Tell me how it works out. And then we go into the future a little bit more, and we talk about the fact that Lord Saturn will sextile Juno. This is going to happen around, again, the 10th and the 11th. Juno is a goddess of commitment and marriage and contracts, and Juno will be receiving some support from Saturn in a sextile from your ninth house, of course, where Saturn is entered into Juno sitting at 0 degrees of your 11th house. What kind of contract, what kind of agreement, what kind of commitment, what kind of collaboration, or what kind of partnership is being forged is still around the 10th or the 11th of the month. So it's all sort of intertwined. Mars is going to square Neptune. He's done this before, twice since last August. It's a place where you're trying to clear your fog of illusion, confusion, and delusion. So where have you been kind of fogged out and confused when it comes to things to do with faith, belief in God, religion, higher education, trips and travel? Neptune has been he's been fogging things up there, but he's also been giving you higher visions, and it's very spiritual energy of a enlightenment planet in a house of God. Maybe some of you are getting ready for enlightenment. I don't know. And the other thing I'd say about it is, looking down at my notes, I'd say Mars squaring Neptune could be the last like defogging or de-icing of your foggy windshield on something that you need to have clarity on, that comes from Mars in your house of self-undoing. Oh, by the way, the dates are around the 13th to the 15th of the month. The house of your self-undoing, the house of your addictions, the house of your self-defeating strategies, the house of your hang-ups and bad habits. So this is clearing out, releasing, and letting go and defogging, but it's a square. So it might come through some kind of difficult circumstance that forces you to take action that changes your course around these matters. Around the same time, around the 16th, there's going to be a conjunction between Jupiter and Chiron. There will be a whole video on that, once every 12-year possibility. That's going to really help you heal something in your career space, or step up to be the guide, mentor, guru, teacher, healer for others, or encounter a guide, mentor, teacher, guru, healer around the middle of March who is your person, who's going to be like a career mentor or a guide for you in something to do with the work you're here to do and your purpose in life. There's a energy also coming up through the sky of the 15th to about the 21st of the month, where there's a whole lot of stuff happening all at once. It's intense. It's intense. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to try to make it simple. Basically, what we have is the Sun conjunct Neptune, which is a very high spiritual vibe, like the good father, the true guru, the Sat guru, this true teacher. So it's really sweet in that way. So the Sun and Neptune come together, and the energy is positive for the most part. And yet at the same time, we still have that lingering Mars square that I told you about. And yet we also have the Sun Neptune with Mercury, and that's a cazimi of Mercury in the heart of the Sun conjunct the imagination god Neptune. I will be doing a webinar for that. It is too good to not harness it as a proactive imaginal tool to create your reality. So Mercury, Sun, and Cazimi with Neptune in Pisces is exquisite energy, to say the least. And so look for that time at the Cazimi, I think is actually on the 16th, but it doesn't matter. 15th, 16th, 17th, beautiful intensity in the sky, moving into the 19th and 21st. This energy of the Cazimi is actually in a sextile to Pluto, the god of power, the god of wealth, the god of intensity, at the tail end, the 29th last degree of your marriage house. But this is also a house of your partnerships, your audience, your marketplace. If you serve those kinds of people, like you sell something to the world, you promote a product or service. Ooh. What are you given? What download are you being given? What divine download is happening around the 16th of March that you're here to deliver from this combination in the house of God? It's so juicy. So they could bring you new power in 7th house matters. If you're doing anything court related, legal matters, this is going to be a very positive transit for that as well, with possibly everything working out for you your way, but almost in an enchanted and magical way. Then moving into the more future on the 18th or so, Venus will be in a sextile, a flow, an ease with Saturn. So we always love that flow between Venus and Saturn. They like each other energetically for so many reasons. And so Venus is going to be in that house of good spirit, full of the pennies from heaven and the great gains from your career. As I said earlier, money goddess, money house. And she's looking over at Saturn in your 9th house. This could be a real sweet perk around a pleasurable perk, a promotion, a raise in alignment with your dharma, a chance to take a trip to a foreign shore with an eldest sibling who's female, or some kind of positive developments regarding legal matters that you get a financial gains from, and possibly also, I think that's about it, but it's just such a sweet touch. So we had to mention it. Moving into the farther flung future, way down the pipeline on March the 28th. What happens is that's that Mercury conjunct Jupiter that I mentioned earlier. That's when the messenger of the gods meets with the god of Mount Olympus, and it just smacks of good news, right? Lucky breaks, good news, something exciting going on. And this is happening around the 18th and 19th of the sign of Aries. Therefore, if your rising sign, sun or moon, is near the 18th degree, 3 degrees on either side, it really hits you with a great deal more precision. So you really get this energy more than other people, but all Cancers will feel it. Something good percolating, good news, good developments, good negotiations, good up levels in your career house. Or maybe you speak something into the world, or write something into the world, or message something into the world that puts you on the top of a mountain of some kind, like a high mountain. Venus will co-join with Uranus. Of course, that is because she's moving through Taurus, where Uranus has been since 2019, and she will co-join with Uranus. So unexpected, exciting, and dramatic stuff to do with financial gain, perks, social events, friendships, eldest sibling. Now it's interesting, this is on March 30th and 31st. This is a conjunction that's starting a new cycle that is a synodic cycle of Venus and Uranus. Venus, squaring Uranus, being opposing, squaring, and conjuncting is a longer cycle. I've addressed it in one of my other videos. She's starting a new story as she co-joins with Uranus. So this will also be something you could track over time to see what the iterations of it are as she comes into a square to the synodic cycle that happens on a regular rhythm. For example, she will be squaring this Cazimi, or this conjunction, with Uranus. She'll be getting into a square in the summer months and really reactivating in June, July, August, September, whatever she's starting for you now. All right, so keep that in mind. So it's definitely positive. It's exciting. It could be good news from a female friend, exciting developments with a female friend, but it benefits you because this placement sextiles the house of Cancer. So it's not just, oh, look at my friend, she won the lottery and she gave me half her money. I don't know. I mean, look at my friend, she got a high level job and she wants to bring me aboard. Oh my God, exciting news and developments around that kind of thing. Mars is going to trine flow Saturn at the very end of the month on the 31st of March. Woo! Mars is now in Cancer, the sign of you, and it's in a flow to Saturn, Lord Saturn, in your 9th house. Wow, it's a nice touch point for Saturn's entrance into your 9th house. It could be somebody who's an expert authority, somebody in power, somebody Saturnian, like a boss, or somebody in a position that you respect and look up to, maybe even a preacher or a priest or a guide or a mentor, or somebody in work position up above you, looking over at you and down at you, and you're looking at them. You're the Mars energy, and you're making some kind of March 31st action or decision based on this confluence of events that has utter flow and ease for you. So I don't know what to say. It's positive. You're the action taker. You're the action maker. Okay. Just a sidebar for you that Juno, the goddess of contracts and agreements, starting on March the 11th through to May the 2nd, will be in Pisces. It's a good time for you to collaborate with your ninth house, partner with, and join with people in book publishing industry, humanitarian stuff, churches, spiritual temples, ashrams, things like that, ninth house things, okay? Because there's a collaboration energy. Even for some of you, it could be as simple as it's time for that destination wedding, off to a foreign land with the marriage goddess, up in your ninth house. Some of you might say, oh, we're going to go get married in Scotland. Let's do it. I did the same thing. I did a JP, fast track marriage to my second husband in a little place called Haddington, Scotland. And I know that you, my regulars who listen to this, will know where I'm talking about, my Scottish people, who are my regular viewers on my YouTube lives. And we were staying in Aberlady. This is outside of Edinburgh, up on the Firth of Forth, or however you say it. And then we got married in Haddington. It was so much fun. Okay. Thanks for listening, Cancer. I hope I didn't give you too fast of a delivery there, but I want to get through all of these videos. My Patreon community gets all of this way ahead of time. I'm recording on the 16th, and I think you guys will get this content on Sunday, the something or other, of February, 16th, 17th, the 19th. So usually they get it up to a month to a week before. Sometimes it's a little bit tighter on schedule, but if that interests you, just jump on board. Patreon, $5 a month. You can quit if you don't like it. So many perks if you come aboard. Meet with me twice a month. It's, we gather and we have the twice a month Zoom meetings, 3 if you up level to a tier beyond $5, but it's up to you. All right. Thanks, guys. Ciao, ciao.